Our keynote speaker for the day is Mr. Pupendra Rathore. Mr. Pupendra is India's #1 breakthrough strategist. He is one of the most inspiring motivational speakers, corporate trainers, and business coaches in India, as well as abroad. Pupendra has recently been a speaker on TED and Just Talk platform for 2 times each. His Just Talk has been viewed by more than 3.8 million people. Mr. Rathore has received numerous awards, including the Most Admired Global Indian in 2019 by Passion Vista magazine, to get a holistic approach to ending homelessness. So now let's give our attention to Mr. Rathore as he takes us through this topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Really excited to be with you all. See, while people are busy taking care of their children, busy taking care of their lives, building homes, we are here discussing about others. And that makes all of us very, very special. You clapped for me. I want you to clap for yourself because, you are being a part here, all right? So give yourself a round of applause for that, please. Thank you. All right, so just a moment. So I wanted to share that there's a lot which is happening in this world. There's a lot which is happening. Okay, earthquakes are happening. Natural calamities are happening. And all these things are not in our control. All right? But don't tell me that we can't control a hungry, homeless, and a sick person. We can control. Can we? Can we? I'm asking this forum. All right? We can definitely control all these people, all these things. But for a moment, let's think about these homeless people. Let's think about this. How do they manage their day-to-day living? How do they find the medicines? How do they get the food on time? Do they really get or do they not? And most of the time, when they are sad, when they are upset, when they are sick, is there anybody to give them the love? For me, the most important thing for a human being is not even food, love from the other people. But who gives them that shoulder? Okay? They are, at the end of the day, they are also human beings, right? But who is homeless? That's what we need to really understand. Okay? Over there, you can see a picture. And that is not the picture from anybody who is there on the street. That is one of the biggest slums in India called Dharavi. Millions of people live over there. Now, I want to say that homeless are even those who live in slums and do not get pure water and food, live in or near dirt, has no proper protection, has a lot of crimes around, and also has no security and comfort. These are also the people who are homeless. Yes, there are a lot of people who are living in the streets and all, but then these people are also homeless, and they also need our attention. Now, when it comes to homelessness, what kind of challenges a homeless person has and what kind of challenges these people face? And there are a lot of complexities which are attached with this particular thing called homelessness. What are those? Few of them were mentioned by Queen during her introduction remark. Human trafficking, drug abuse, diseases, violence, and so many other things. So, my dear friends, when it comes to homelessness, it's not about people. I was just discovering that, what are the statistics about homelessness? So you will look at a slide next to this where you will see some of the statistics. Okay? Look at this. Okay? When it comes to the countries like Ghana, more than 5.5 million people are homeless. I come from India. 78 million people are homeless. 78 million people are living on the streets. Let's look at some of the statistics from United Nations, and the number is in front of you, my dear friends. It's difficult to get an accurate number of world homeless population. As per Homeless World Cup Foundation, 1.6 billion people lacked adequate housing in 2015. 1.6 billion. And that means, we are total 8 billion people, and out of them, 1.6 billion people lack the proper homes. And that's a big, big, big number, I think. But I think, in order to stop homelessness, we need to understand what are the root causes of homelessness, all right? And here are some of the root causes. If you look at the bottom of this pyramid, the number one reason is greed, hatred, violence, gender inequality, sex crime, and insecurities. I read somewhere that Nigeria is one of the 6th leading oil producers in the world. And it should have been massively rich country. But over there, this particular reason, which is deterioration of the human nature, greed and hatred, has made Nigeria one of the poorest countries in the world. And a lot of people homeless over there. These things lead us to corruption, flawed education system, flawed leadership, and many more. And there we lack security of job. Many people become homeless because there is no job security. Political issues are there. Population explosion is happening. Not proper income sources. Sometimes some illnesses. Sometimes some kind of, mental imbalance. These are the things which are creating, and at the end of the day, poor health and illiteracy are a couple of more. So all these causes are really, really creating homelessness, and yes, natural calamity is one of them. But are these the only things? Yes, in order to address these issues, probably it will take a lot of time, but I also feel that there are 3 more reasons why people are homeless, and that is lack of compassion, sensitivity, and spirituality. Here is a quote which I wanted to read. I always wonder why somebody didn't do something about this. And then I realized I'm also somebody. It all needs to start with me. So look at this wonderful thing which Pope Francis has to say. These things become a norm. That some homeless people die of cold on the streets is not news. In contrast, a 10-point drop on the stock market of some cities is a tragedy. A person dying on the street is not a news, but a drop in the stock market is a huge tragedy. A person dying is not news, but if the stock market drops then it is a tragedy. Thus people are disposed of as if they were trash. Now, my dear friends, the challenge is not the homelessness. Challenge is many people are talking in these kind of conferences about homelessness, and we have come dangerously close to accepting the homeless situation as a problem that we just can't solve. Many people are just thinking that, it's very difficult to solve it. Now, question to this forum is it really difficult? If every person become aware and educated, if every person really contributes, and if all the governments get into the action, can it be removed? Yes, it can be removed, because Finland removed it completely. I'll come to it as to what Finland did about removing it. But there is a question here: who are we as human beings if we ignore the sufferings of others? Today, if you go to the scriptures, I come from India, and there's a holy book called Gita. And in Gita, it is said that if a human is not helping the humans and animals, then he is not human. He is nothing but an animal. That is what Gita says. Because animals also produce kids, animals also eat, sleep, and do whatever they want to do. Okay? So what is the difference between human being and an animal if human being cannot help the others or the needy? So I want to bring our attention to this particular thing, that today we have more resources, better technology, better education, faster communication mediums, all the possible resources and access and the travel, ease of travel, and every single thing is on our disposal today. So Now the question is, we can solve this problem for sure. Am I right? Yes. And that is how is the question. Now a common man has a problem, all right? He wants to help, but he doesn't know how to help. Government can help, but probably government has too many issues. So what is the holistic approach I'm going to talk about is, see, the first thing which I feel is that every homeless person needs an identity, okay? Because this identity that he's homeless is not probably going to help us, because when he is identified as homeless, it is not going to work. There is a small organization in India called Narayan Seva Sansthan, and there is another one called Art of Living. What they are doing is they are picking up these homeless people, they're shaving the beard, they are giving them medical treatment and giving them wonderful care. And that identity, when they feel special, that is what changed. Then the second thing, definitely money. Money means resources, means house, affordable housing, and all this. You know, I was reading a statistics that, you know, around 2 million people are homeless in America, and there are more than 4 million homes which are vacant. All right? So people are homeless, but there are enough homes which are vacant, all right? So we need to give them those homes. We need to find a way. We need to give them the career. We need to give them the job. We need to find proper nutrition and health for them. We care about ourselves. Even if, you know, slightly vitamin D goes down in our body, we goes to the health minister or the doctor or wherever. All right? But then what about these people? How many deficiencies they might have? Are they getting proper nutrition? No. So we need to find out a way. And then more important is love and a secure future. My dear friends, I am a breakthrough strategist, and I know one thing for sure. Every human being is capable of becoming whatever he wants to become if he gets the proper environment. It is all about the environment. And each one of us sitting here can definitely give that environment. A few moments ago, I was talking about how Finland completely solved this problem of homelessness. Look at this. If any other country, they first see the people on the streets, and from there they get them to the night shelters, from there they get them to the hostels, and then transitional housing units, and finally the independent apartments. This is what most of the countries do and try. But Finland did something amazing. What Finland did is, Finland gave them housing first. They ran a nationwide campaign that said housing first. And to be very honest, it's expensive. But Finland government says that in the initial moment, it is expensive, but it's not that expensive in the long run. In the long run, it is very, very affordable. That's what Finland did. And Finland had solved. This is the only country which has solved this problem almost 100%. So they receive individual tailored support services. There are no more homeless sheltered in Finland. They have all been turned into supported housing. It all costs money, but it saves much more than that, right? In India, our current Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, he has launched a campaigning that by 2022, housing for all across the India. In Hindi, it is called Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, sabhi ko ghar banane ke liye 2.5 lakh rupaye milenge. It means everybody will get around 0.25 million rupees for making the home. Okay, so that's what we have been doing, and as I said, a couple of organizations are there, and a lot of NGOs are working. But yes, government, NGOs, individuals all have to come together to solve this problem of homelessness, my dear friend. So in this slide, I would like to say that, you know, many people living in slums, or many people are on the streets because of only two reasons, major two reasons. One is the broken economic conditions and faulty government systems, right? These are the only two major things. If these two can be fixed, the problem of homelessness will be fixed. And there are n number of solutions that, yes, we need to have affordable housing, legal support, medical care, and the collaborations and global coordination. All these kind of things are needed. Apart from that, I would say, yes, a lot of awareness, a lot of educational programs, a lot of people need to come forward. But, you know, a common man does not really know how does he really help. he doesn't have a proper way. Where should he donate? He's ready to donate. Probably he may not be able to give man hours, but he's ready to come forward. But yes, NGOs like us, United Nations, and each one of us sitting here, we need to bring that awareness and get people or bring people forward. So, my dear friends, in the end, I would like to say homeless should not be hopeless. Homeless should not be hopeless. Each and every person has the power to change the world. I read somewhere only 300 people are needed to change the whole world. And people like Nelson Mandela, people like Abraham Lincoln, and all these kind of people have really shown it. Martin Luther King, Narendra Modi, Mahatma Gandhi, so many people are doing enough to change the world. Only 300 great people can change this situation too. That's what my belief. Thank you so much for giving me a patient hearing. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you so much, GEM USA and United Nations for bringing me to this forum. I wish this information, this message reaches to the whole world, and the whole world works on it and acts on it. Thank you so much once again. Wow. Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Yes, wow. I told you that is why he's India's #1 breakthrough strategist.